There's a strange moment many people experience at some point in their 20s or 30s. You look at your paycheck and realize it's the highest it's ever been. Higher than last year. Higher than when you started your career. Higher than you once imagined earning. And yet, nothing feels lighter. You're not struggling exactly. You're paying your bills. You're functioning, but the sense of security you thought more money would bring never really arrived. If anything, the pressure feels more constant, more mature, more expensive. This isn't because you made bad decisions. And it's not because you lack discipline. It's because lifestyle inflation isn't an accident. It's a psychological trap that quietly reshapes how people live, spend, and stay financially stuck, especially intelligent, hardworking earners. Let's talk about a life that will feel very familiar if you live in the United States or Europe. Someone finishes university or vocational training in their early 20s. Their first job doesn't pay much, but expectations are low. They share an apartment. They take public transport or drive an old car. They cook at home more than they eat out. Money is tight, but simple. Then progress happens. A few promotions. A job change. A better title. By their late 20s or early 30s, they're earning what society considers good money. Maybe $70,000 to $90,000 in the US, or the European equivalent after social benefits and taxes. They didn't suddenly become reckless. They just started upgrading. Logically. A better apartment closer to work. A newer car with fewer repairs. More convenience. More comfort. Less friction. None of it feels excessive. It feels reasonable. Let's slow this down and look at the math. Imagine a single professional earning $80,000 per year in the US. After federal taxes, state taxes, healthcare, and payroll deductions, take-home pay might be around $4,500 per month. In parts of Europe, the gross number may be similar, but after tax and social contributions, monthly net income often lands in a similar range. Now the expenses. Rent or mortgage on a decent place, $1,700. Utilities, phone, internet, $300. Car payment, $450. Car insurance, fuel, maintenance, $300. Student loans or education debt, $350. Groceries and basic living, $600. Subscriptions, eating out, social life, $500. Credit card minimums or small consumer debt, $200. That's roughly $4,400, leaving maybe $100 to $200 at the end of the month. On paper, this person is successful. In reality, they're financially fragile. What's interesting is that this situation rarely feels alarming because nothing looks irresponsible in isolation. The apartment is within budget. The car payment is manageable. The spending isn't flashy. Most of these choices are socially rewarded. A nicer apartment signals stability. A reliable car signals adulthood. Spending more signals progress. And because these upgrades happened gradually, often right after raises, they never felt dangerous. They felt deserved. Here's the part people don't consciously register. Every lifestyle upgrade is a trade. But the trade isn't between comfort and discomfort. It's between present comfort and future flexibility. When income rises, people assume they're choosing better living. What they're actually choosing is to permanently raise the amount of money required to feel okay. That's a subtle shift, but a powerful one. Once your lifestyle requires $4,400 a month, losing income becomes terrifying. You're not afraid of poverty. You're afraid of downgrade. Let's revisit that earlier example. If that same person earning $80,000 had intentionally capped their lifestyle closer to their earlier income level, say, living on $3,200 instead of $4,400, that's $1,200 saved per month. Not through extreme frugality, just through resistance to automatic upgrades. Now let's do very boring math. $1,200 per month is $14,400 per year, invested at a modest long-term return. Nothing aggressive. that grows dramatically over time. Over 30 years, that difference alone becomes well over $1 million. But here's the important part. Most people never feel like they lost that million, because it was spent slowly, invisibly, on comfort. Lifestyle inflation doesn't catch reckless people. It catches smart people. People who optimize, people who justify decisions logically. People who believe they've earned a better life. The trap works because it aligns perfectly with how human psychology operates. Humans adapt quickly to improvement. What once felt luxurious becomes normal. What once felt optional becomes necessary. This is called hedonic adaptation. And consumer culture is built on exploiting it. There's another layer to this psychology. Modern society equates spending with stability. A newer car feels safer. A bigger apartment feels responsible. More convenience feels like maturity. But many of these stability upgrades actually increase financial risk. Higher fixed expenses reduce resilience. They make you more dependent on your current income, not less. This is how people earning good money still feel trapped. They're not poor. They're expensive. Lifestyle inflation doesn't begin with luxury. It begins with small upgrades that feel harmless. Moving closer to work. Upgrading furniture. Switching from budget airlines to flexible tickets. Eating out more often because time is valuable now. Each decision makes sense. But together, they quietly rewire your financial baseline. No one likes to talk about this part, but it matters. Lifestyle inflation is socially reinforced. Your peers upgrade. Your coworkers upgrade. Your social circle normalizes higher spending. When everyone around you lives a certain way, it stops feeling optional. It starts feeling required. Not because you're insecure, but because humans are relational. We calibrate normal based on proximity, not logic. This isn't a conspiracy. The system is simply optimized. Rising incomes paired with easy credit, subscriptions, financing, and status cues create predictable outcomes. People don't rebel against the system because it doesn't feel oppressive. It feels comfortable. That's why it works. The real danger of lifestyle inflation isn't debt. It's stagnation. You stay in jobs longer than you want. You tolerate stress longer than necessary. You delay risks that could improve your life, not because you lack courage, because your cost of living quietly removed your options. People who eventually build financial freedom don't hate comfort. They just delay identity upgrades. They don't ask, "Can I afford this now?" They ask, "Does this permanently raise my financial baseline?" They understand that income growth is temporary. Lifestyle expansion is permanent. Instead of upgrading life immediately, they upgrade flexibility. They let raises go into investments before emotions catch up. They treat higher income as leverage, not permission. This isn't discipline, it's awareness. This isn't about living cheaply forever. It's not about denying enjoyment. It's not about guilt or sacrifice. It's about understanding that comfort compounds slowly, while freedom compounds quietly. And you only get to choose one direction first. Real wealth isn't visible. It looks boring. It looks underwhelming. It often looks like someone who earns well, but lives slightly below their means. Not because they have to, because they want their future to be easier than their present. Lifestyle inflation doesn't happen because people are irresponsible. It happens because people are human. Once you see it, you don't have to fight it aggressively. You just have to stop letting it happen automatically. If this perspective helped you think more clearly about money and modern life, you can like the video or subscribe.